I'll start the video off here as an early version of the HPS watch list, and I'll either get it out early in the morning or just finish it tomorrow and send it out. The over the last couple of days, I've been following the market, writing down some good setups, and this week has been quiet. Even though there was some activity, it's been mostly a pullback. Today we actually had a nice little move up. But you can see there's no big moves. We got up to our highs a few days ago at the beginning of the week, and then from that point on, we've been making a series of lower lows and lower highs, which it's just not, it's normal. That's normal. I wouldn't be too concerned with it. It is at some points hard to chase things up here. We talked about like our great stocks like the Service Now, the Plan, the Coop, all very continue to be pretty strong, but also pulling back. And look at these charts. I mean, these have been going straight up. The Plan still looks great. PAYC, got into that today. It's just another good stock, and and trying to just take advantage. I don't want this market here just to continue to stair step up. So I'm going to focus on some quality names on the 60-minute time frame. So the Plan, or actually the PayCom, was a 60-minute divergence that I got in. So we actually happened to catch this one as it was just coming out of this divergence, and it closed up since where we got it. It's a nice little looking trade that's starting here. And if we look back on the daily, this has the potential of pulling back 3 to 4 days and then popping aggressively 3 to 4 days. So we're in a setup here. We had the 60-minute divergence. You can see clear the low here and the low here, the low and the higher low. And then we got the 60-minute candle follow through, and I still think we have some more upside here. We have potential bigger pattern. If I drag that trend line on top here, and kind of look at where we are, maybe. And again, we do have a little after-hour trade here at 42.88 up here, 42.88. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Right now, the futures are higher. And this is on a Thursday evening. I'm doing this Thursday evening. So we're going to just continue to, stick to these quality names. The other one that I got earlier in the week, and it's gone through that pullback, and that's the one thing I don't want to do is get into something really strong and deal with the market pulling back. It's because, we're usually buying these stocks with the options and just trading them. The HXL. Now, Boeing came out with some good news after hours. They said their plane probably get back on track. It's not 2020, which we're hearing a lot of things, but the beginning of the fourth quarter. Well, maybe that, whatever that comes into. I just heard it out of the corner of my ear. And then I got up, walked over to the computer, and I see, Boeing here really rallying nice. So, I mean, there was some news out there. The HXL does service and supplies Boeing with fuselage, and other parts of the planes. So this is kind of connected with the Boeing. They also, I think, supply Airbus. So it's just overall a good-looking stock too. I mean, we just don't want to get caught in a big multi-month pullback. So that's the problem. But this is moving back real quickly, oversold, and again, if the market opens up tomorrow aggressively higher, these should all lead, and we'll just take profits on it. Not, we have to hit the market a little faster, a little harder, a little quicker, I should say. On that. Now, here's KHC. KHC, again, I tell you, it's been a bore, but sometimes we get that nice candlestick, and we get a follow through, and we're overbought, and we kind of pull back. What has been happening here is they were supposed to come out with earnings this week, and they announced that they are going to come out with earnings before the end of the month, but it's not going to be when I said it was going to be, which was, I think, yesterday. And we've been consolidating here, real tight consolidation. I've been buying. We had a pop today. I took my July's off. I still hold my August ones, and they're actually looking pretty good. Now, we had a candle here, pop, little follow through. The interesting thing about this candle here today, it had some volume behind it. All right, it had some nice volume behind it. It also took out the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So it's a 4-day high, And this is the most important part of this, which I really like, and this is how I'm putting this one as the best bet for tomorrow. The combination of the volume and the oversold stochastic, just getting oversold, and we've been going sideways. So this is a price divergence, stochastic divergence, price divergence, where typically you'll see that price move back down with the divergence. You'll see the price move up with the divergence. Once you see the stochastics move down and the price really basically move sideways from where it starts to up, it's basically holding that level. Once it gets down there and we start to ramp back up, this is why I have great confidence it's going to have a follow-through day tomorrow. A nice follow-through day. So it's probably going to be, we'll be able to see that one early on, see how it's trending. If it's strong, you'll probably be able to get a nice trade. I think we actually get, let's see here, we get past that 5012. Again, we have to be very realistic on these stocks, but a nice follow-through. A recent high here is 31.50 area. All right, so that's 45-50 cents, which is fine. But I think over the next couple of days you're going to get more on that, and then they're going to come out with earnings before the end of the month, and that's that on that one. Best case scenario, we'll move up to back inside this pattern, which I think is going to happen. Probably come back and test it. So getting back into that 32 area would be great, and then a pull back to 31. And then, let's start trending higher. But again, everything's set up for a follow-through day tomorrow. I'm very happy about that. Looking good going out on that. All right, now let's take a look at some of the other ones real fast. And again, I'll try to get this out. If I can get this out fast, that's going to be tough. I'll have to get here early in the morning and get it out. I want to try to keep it nice and short and sweet. KHC we talked about. Now Eli Lilly racer all day talking about the opiates and how all these companies that put out the opiates are going to be sued. It is kind of scary, the Teva, all these stocks. A lot of these have been really crushed, and knowing that's overhanging us, I'm kind of I always liked Eli Lilly, but also seeing that weakness in there, and I was surprised to see it now and to kind of put it all together because I didn't look into it that much on what some of the people in the room are really following up on. So I'm watching it. Instead of Eli Lilly, I got into the AMGN today just to go out here. And what I liked about the AMGN is really the weekly setup here. We have this big slanted W pattern, or just a nice channel. We popped, and then we came back. Now we're kind of pushing back up. We're going to look for this to push back up. Now, there's no guarantee. We could actually push down a little bit further, but we held that 200 pretty good. We popped up. We came back. We kind of got a 50% retracement off of this move. So I like that. And giving us enough time to go out until August. Give us enough time for let this thing here start to break out of this bigger channel. The overall pattern is great. I mean, this is the daily chart. This is a textbook flag. The problem is it's a weekly chart, and each candle takes 5 days to really build. So for us to get going, I'm thinking 2 to 3 weeks to really see a significant move on that, unless we get just a big move or news. But I think the risk reward is good on that. The daily is important because we're just oversold. So we have the daily on our side. We have the weekly kind of ready to set back up. We have the pattern, which looks good. And we have some earnings coming out next week on Biogen, I believe, which is going to be an interesting one too. Some other ones, but just wanted that one is in that. The MDT is working out as planned. We have that breakout. Remember that $100.40 level was our area, and as you can see here, right here, we kind of right up here. We got through it once. We came up, tested it, had a problem with it, pulled back, then tested again. Once we broke through it, you can see the volume up here. Started to pick up, and we had a nice ramp up. So once we got that boy ramped up, then we pulled back, ramped up, pulled back. I want to get a little further upside on this, start taking some profits on it. The overall chart, I think is one of the stocks you could overall hold. ISRG came out with earnings today, which is a robotic surgical unit. They came out good earnings, but not really moving too much after hours. You know, we had an initial pop, initial drop, and now after all is said and done, it's pretty flat. So didn't get the big reaction I wanted on that. I was hoping for a home run on that. Just picked up one call on it just to give ourselves an earnings gamble on that. But nothing came of that. But we'll see if the MDT gets any reaction from this tomorrow, as they're starting to come out with their surgical robotic surgery unit also. So I've been, just following that one up, and I probably want to take profits on that also. MDT, the HXL. Again, another quality name from the IBD, Investors Business Daily, top 50 stocks. We have some nice scans there that are, just pointing out some pullbacks. And again, this one starting to come out of a 60-minute rotation. It's not my favorite, this is but I think we have some good news on Boeing. I think this one actually can pop tomorrow on that good news that Boeing is going to be bringing their fleet back online earlier than what was expected. And with HXL being a supplier to their planes and stuff, that would be a positive for them also. So maybe we get a nice pop in this one tomorrow. We push right back up. We'll see how that one is setting up. And then what else we have here? AUPH. I was going to do some more. I was going to do a specialty video on this. I talked about it a lot today. Talked the reason we're in it, what we're looking for. Just to let you know, I bought more calls on it. I didn't get to that full video on it. I'm going to have to do that for you. I think you have plenty of time left on this to get through June, July. But if we start to see this thing start to move up, it's going to move up prior to the news, and that might be a good tell. So I'm starting to take that shot here. I'm buying those calls all the way out to December, $6 calls. It cost me about $1 each, and taking a shot on this. So that's that. And the Veru, interesting, had a lawsuit dismissed on them today, which we saw it sell off early in the morning and then came right back basically to break even, closing down just a little. Nice 5-minute rotation. We'll see what happens with that tomorrow. Again, that's a longer term hold on that one. And then I do like, the Tyson brought up the idea of Corning GLW, and I do like Corning a lot. I'm always a big fan of Corning. As you can see, I've charted this one out multiple times. I haven't traded in a while. Now this is a daily. The daily's holding a 20. Kind of choppy here, but we could actually start to turn back up. I think we're going to hold that 200. I think the lower trend line here, everything here is pointing with the pressure higher. It still looks cheap to me. This will be key though. If it continues to turn back up and shows that a very aggressive turn back up right here, and this starts to break out, that will be very aggressive. When you do get a little pullback and then it turns back up, it's a strong move. This kind of could happen sometimes where we have that pullback and a turn back up. You get a move, but then it fails. Well, if we get that move back up and then it fails, we'll know it. We'll see it fail, and you get out. Once it starts to fail, that you start to break down through the previous low right here, 32. So right now it's a good risk reward trade to the upside, GLW. So that is really nice. And I got to check out what the earnings are. Corning. I wonder if Alexa knows. Hey Alexa, when does Corning come out with earnings? Well, she doesn't even know. She's sleeping on the job. All right, so that's the short-term watch list tomorrow. I'm probably going to pick up that Corning GLW. Any type of action on the AUPH, I'm ready to go even deeper into that one. MDT trying to take some profits. To KHC, expect to follow through. HXL, expect to pop on the Boeing news. And the AMGN, like to see that move. And the Corning, going to take a position in that GLW. And that's our first of our kind of a short-term watch list for tomorrow. Hopefully you get it before you get up in the morning, and maybe you get to watch it. If you're listening tonight, well, you don't have to worry about it. Let me send it out, at least get it out, and I got to get home, put my kid to bed. All right, I'll see everyone in the markets tomorrow. I know Paul's going to be on the air. He's going through some things with his family, so keep prayers going out for him. And maybe I'll see, we'll see what happens going forward here. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.